Good morning, Simon here. I don't know, I'm just checking. I've got this high-tech wet weather solution. It's called a plastic bag on the phone. So I just dropped my kids at school and, wow, the rain's coming down actually. There's a big massive puddle over there. I don't know if you can, thankfully not on this side of the road, but as the cars go zooming past, you can see it's like a bit of the old surf. And I'm concerned I look like a mad old fool, but the only reason I'm concerned is because I don't want people to think that the charity is in any way a joke or an endeavour that isn't absolutely serious. So by getting out walking in the rain, I'm trying to get past a little hurdle that I've had. So after each of my jabs, I had some adverse reactions, and jab number 2, sudden hearing loss. So and they found a little anomaly which needs to be investigated. So they think it's a possible benign tumour in the lining of my brain, which is not driving the crazy behaviour. I am completely rational. But yeah, so brain tumour, that doesn't look too good though, does it? But it has to get, I'm waiting on an MRI and we'll figure it out. It is what it is. But I've had a week of, my eldest son brought home the flu. So just sort of sitting at home on my hands, moping a little bit. And I checked the forecast, and this week it's thunderstorms all week. So I either have to lean into it, get out there in the weather and, continue with my walking about, or, do what I did the first go round, the first fight with cancer. I did fight and I fought hard and I won, but I didn't lean into mental health as well as I could have. I didn't, I allowed my hope to slowly wither over time. So I'm not going to do that. No. So I'm going to walk into the city today and then back again. Oh, g'day. Sorry I was in your way there. Sorry about that. So nice lady on a bike going past who I'm walking down the road streaming. So yeah, I'm going to walk into the city today and back again just to be out in the air and get back into the swing of things. I think it's about 12, 13k in, 12, 13k back. I don't think I'll see much in the way of people in the grim weather, but maybe with my big flag up, which I'll put up in a second, people will still see me. And that's what it's all about. See the flag, understand the cause. It's all for those 950 Aussie kids every year who get diagnosed. It's all to help them and future children as yet unborn. Because every step forward with the science means that number whittles down. Well, hopefully, in theory. So it's all about the Kids Cancer Project. And if you can find it in your heart to support that charity, there's links in the sticky posts and all of that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'm going to walk into the city and have a little toddle around and walk back again in this fabulously grim weather. And I'm curious to see, oh yeah, the video looks alright. Could be worse. So my high-tech Tony Stark level phone protective solution is good. The earbuds are waterproof. You can submerge them, which is bloody great. And the phone is in a plastic bag. Oh, and we have a comment from somebody. Keep it up, legend. Thank you so much, mate. Yeah, I've had a little setback this past week. Just some health problems. The most disturbing part of it isn't the physical component. Health, we're machines, and we need the machines to be maintained, right? But it's that inner component, the hope, the sense of defending your own mental health. Because once you've had cancer, the threat of cancer is like this constant oppressive psychological attack, which no child should have to endure. But so with this idea that I may have another tumour, it inflicts quite an insidious and pointy psychological attack. And I'm just running across the road like a big old buffhead. What is wrong with me? I don't know. I think I'm sound as a dollar and I'm just doing my best. But I do get these moments and I do get these stares. But yeah, so I've had a bit of a rough week, but I'm now bouncing back on my way into the city, and I'll do another stream from in there somewhere. Probably in the driving rain. Thunderstorms all week. So I'm going to captain Australia up and get moving. All the best. I hope everybody is happy and well. We're getting towards Christmas. 26th of December is when I hit the road on the big walk. 10 weeks continuously down to Melbourne. This old man, old footbed. And it's all for the Kids Cancer Project. So look at that if you can. All the best. You take care of yourself.
G'day, Captain Australia here. So we are at the bottom of South Bank in lovely Brisbane, and yeah, just wandering around the city today. So I'm just getting back into the groove of things, really. A little bit sort of low key. The whole brain cancer bloody threat hanging over me has got me a little bit mellow, to be honest, but powering through. So I'm just gonna walk through South Bank and then head home, I think, which is nice little 8k before I'm home, and then we'll pick up some dinner on the way, say good day to the kids, give them a kiss, say good day to the wife, give her a kiss. So let's just take a little view of the city there. Beautiful Brisbane for you. And I hope during my upcoming big walk to be able to share some similar beautiful places all down the east coast of Australia. It's part of it, I think, after all of this lockdown, shut-in fatigue. It'd just be nice to get out into the open air, and I need that. That's a pilgrimage for me, I think, a way to, I don't know, rediscover the natural world, really. Because I've had a 4.5 year fight with cancer where cancer was winning, you know, like even though I'd beaten the disease, it had this sort of rope-a-dope kind of a crippling effect on me, and it's only just this last December that I was able to come back from it. So for me, this big walk is about personal healing. It's about just coming alive again and walking out into the world and seeing the ocean and being near the ocean and seeing the sky and having no particular place to go except south. And you know, it's pursuing that quest. I think that I will find a g'day, how you doing? Hey guys. Yeah mate, I'm gonna walk to Melbourne at the end of the year for the Kids Cancer Project. Yeah, hang on, would you like, is it okay with your mum? I've got a little poster thing here. If you, oh sorry, geez, they're all bloody crumpled. Sorry about that, hang on. What have we got in here?
Wait, are you Captain Australia?
Yep, Captain Australia.
That's a big ripple. Did you ask Marvel first?
Oh, I own the trademark, yeah, it's mine, yeah.
You asked Marvel?
No, I didn't have to.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, so it's
We can just call himself Captain Marvel as well,
oh,
because the trademark.
there we go, look, I've even got the ripped off the bat signal. Since we're talking about copyright, there's a Captain Australia's big walk and it's like the bat signal, so I guess I am a bit of a rip-off and a hack, aren't I? But yeah, it's all for a worthy cause, guys, so yeah, up there.
So did you, wait, why don't you have to ask Marvel?
Well, they have not registered or protected the idea of Captain Australia, so I was able to jump in first. And,
Everybody is Captain Australia! the biggest ripple. 2 ripples in one.
You got a little lawyer on your hands here, mate, I think, which is probably a great career path to pursue. Hey, buddy, how are you, man? You got a fist bump in you? Pow!
So you're walking all the way to Melbourne?
Oh yeah, that's sort of protected. Don't.
You're copying Iron Man!
Pow! Copying Iron Man as well. Yeah, I'm from all over the place.
So that's your first aid kit?
Is this what, right? Sorry?
No, you're copying a knife!
Yeah, there's bandages in there and all kinds of stuff. Yep, that's water. This is just carrying stuff in a pouch. This is a map bag, but it's got my little magic go-kart in there, and my wallet, and my other stuff. I'm going to walk to Melbourne, Brisbane to Melbourne. I'm going to sleep wherever I can. So, under bridges, on the beach. I'm just going to, it's an adventure for me.
In the motels?
No motels, no. So when I was 15, I actually walked to Sydney, and it was a hopeful adventure. So now as an older man, I got sick. And I need healing, so I'm walking to Melbourne for my own healing. Oh, thank you. Did I give you a few too many? Sorry about that. So it's a quest for healing, but it's also, well, I think getting back in touch with nature and having a pilgrimage is a good thing for me. And then I realised I could do it for a charity to help a worthy cause as well.
Wait, So you need healing, right? What sort of sick are you? And how will?
Well, I had a disease called cancer. So I had a stage 4 cancer, which is a very serious illness, but I beat it. And people can beat cancer these days, but it's a difficult thing to overcome. So you need to find hope and strength and work hard and try and get better. And that's what I'm doing.
But still, you're Captain Australia.
Oh yeah, this is actually recording me, so don't. Well,
How does you can't go into there because you might be going live.
yeah, we don't want to show your kids on the internet, do we? Yeah.
Don't worry, I won't tell Marvel.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you dob on me, and they can. That's all right. You can do what you need to do, buddy. That's all right.
Yeah.
You do what you think is right, and that's what you always should do in life. Really, at the end of the day, that's in your heart and that's in your mind. So, if you think I'm doing the wrong thing, write a letter to Marvel. Tell them.
Literally holding a big sign
Yeah.
for
Marvel knew they'd probably sponsor you.
Yeah, well, hey, that's not a bad idea. Yeah. A pleasure meeting you, gentlemen, and Mum. Cheers.
When you started,
I leave on the 26th of December, so I'm doing just a lot of practice now, learning how to make streams and, all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I leave on Boxing Day, King George Square, and I wind up in Federation Square about 10 weeks later. Yeah.
find what you're looking for, and then hopefully it's achieved.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget to take a boot. Don't forget to bring a bike.
Yeah, no bikes, it's all boots. That's all I got. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. All the best. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Random friendly encounter with a lovely family. And, yeah, where was I? What was I saying? I do not know. Yeah, the big walk coming up. It's almost a month away. And that's, I think, yeah, it's about stripping everything back. So in the course of our lives, we just get so many things plugged in, like to our personal, our spiritual battery. So it's like, we're running our iPads, our phone chargers, our laptops, and we're all over the, keeping in touch with our friends, all the social media and all of that sort of stuff. And, your battery might be perpetually plugged into the charger, but the drain is such that you're always just barely maintaining equilibrium. So the principle of a pilgrimage is just to strip it all right back to the absolute elemental basics. Walk, eat, sleep, wee and poo. And at the end of the day, for me, I also needed to rediscover my sense of purpose. Because cancer cripples you. It tries to take away your place in the world, your sense that you can meaningfully fight the disease. So I think by taking on a charity that's scientifically oriented towards pediatric cancer, somebody suggested the other day, and I had never thought about it this way, but it's also like my retaliation, Yeah, cancer? Right on, mate. Hey, hang on. Dark horse, but don't you turn a blind eye to the little guy, mate. We'll get you. So, it's like my Don Quixote kind of way of fighting back. Not for myself, but for those children, which I just couldn't abide seeing kids waiting for treatment. It was just a mess. So, that's it. The Kids Cancer Project. This is Captain Australia's Big Walk. Leave 26th December. And good, bad, or indifferent, win, lose, or draw, I'm just trying to do my best. My personal healing was the original motivation, but helping the charity now is the only real motivation, because my healing is more or less on track. Setbacks, of course setbacks, but so here we are. You are now attached to a selfie stick, to an iPhone 7, as we walk through South Bank. Let's take a look. So if you don't know South Bank Gardens, they're quite lovely, to be honest. I remember back in, this was all done up for Expo 88. There's the city. Before that, it used to be, I think, a TAFE campus, one big, long, sprawling sort of industrial type area with little TAFE, little factory learning TAFE stuff where you could go to learn to be a plumber or a fitter and a turner or whatever. All these little buildings. So this is much nicer. TAFE is still around here though, somewhere. Anyway, that's Brisbane for you. So, a little bit low energy, but I think walking is good. It's helping me sort of lift myself back up. So yeah, sorry, if you don't know, I had adverse reactions to the both jabs, the COVID vaccines, kind of thing that you can get from any vaccine. It's called a multi-system inflammatory syndrome, apparently. So my doctor said it's really just where your body goes into overdrive reacting to the antibody. You're creating antibodies to learn how to guard and protect against the disease, but that process is normally within a controlled spectrum, but your body can overreact, and mine did. So you get inflammation throughout all these different parts of your body. It can manifest in a lot of different ways. For me, the first one was horrible leg cramps for 4 nights in a row, and then the second one, still a few leg cramps, but nothing as severe. But I woke up on the third day deaf in my right ear, and that was of enough of a concern that I had to have a CT scan, and they found like an anomaly in the back, like the lining of my brain. It's a sac, I don't know the name of it. So it needs to be further investigated. I need to have an MRI, and their suggestion was that it could be a thing called a meningioma, or with the hearing loss, a thing called an acoustic neuroma, something like that. So basically, they're 90% of the cases they're benign, but they can slowly grow and put pressure on other parts of your brain. So the disturbing thing is, so they can cause irrational behaviour. Oh dear. So the idea that this is not driven by executive function, Simon and his good, bad or indifferent rational ideas, but we might be seeing a brain tumour at work. Oh, I have a weird sense of humour. Or God does, I don't know. Anyway, it's most likely a benign thing, and the kind of thing that they put under surveillance. So you just sort of watch it and you chop it out if it becomes a threat. So I may have to have brain surgery at some point. And it could be a false positive too. It might be nothing. I won't know until I get the MRI. But it's like a 3 by 3 by 3 millimeter anomaly. So that's got me this past week my son brought home the flu. So I've been like run down with that, and I've beaten it off. We're all good. But it's just been a week where I had such lovely momentum, I think, in what I was doing. And it's just thrown me off a little bit. But get up back on that horse, mate, I think is we got a comment. I think I just missed the comment, sorry. I'm trying to get better at the streaming. So this example is what we might see if I were walking through, let's say Byron Bay, and we wanted to have a look around, stop, have an encounter, talk to somebody, capture the beauty of the place that we're in. There might be some event going on or something to look at, to talk about, and just share in the adventure of it. So that's what this is. This is practice, and I'm sorry that I'm garbage at it. I am learning, and I hope getting better. But yeah, part of that's to create a living diary for my children as well. So if I ever did get sick again, they'd have that, because they're quite young. When I got diagnosed with the stage 4 cancer, 6 months to live sort of deal, my youngest son was 3 years old. What a mess. But he's 8 now, and I have every hope to see him into adulthood. Like if I spoke the fondest wishes in my life at the moment are to be able to see my children grow into adulthood. That's number one, that's paramount. And if I could have a little rider on that, I would love one day to hold my grandchild. And the other thing is to succeed in my quest, every dimension of it, and there's 3 dimensions. The first is my own personal healing, physical, mental, spiritual outlook, just to come out of it renewed. And I'm working hard to do that, orienting myself toward that. And then the other dimension to it is just to help this really important charity. So 950 Aussie children every year are diagnosed. 20% of them die. So three children a week. 3 children a week are dropping to forms of pediatric cancer. So these are cancers that specifically attack kids. Those numbers boggle my mind. And the ones that don't die, they suffer the same kind of physical and psychological crippling side effects that I've been dealing with that have wrecked me. A grown man with plenty of resources wrecked me. So that's off and that's wrong. And that's the second dimension that I want to succeed in, to help that charity. I'd love to, all the goals are make $250,000 for the charity. That represents thousands and thousands of research hours. So the idea that that could help one child makes it all worthwhile. And the other one is just in fixing myself, in showing that a broken old man with limited tools can do something different. I'm not ashamed of what I'm doing. I know it's weird, and I sometimes have to tell people I'm not mental, which may or may not be true. But you know, the fact that a broken thing can be fixed and made positive, fruitful. You know, the idea that I could help somebody to heal is a great gift to me, because it amplifies my own healing as well. It's just that old Buddhist thing that kindness is the antidote to suffering. So that's the third dimension of it, the, you know, helping myself, helping the charity, and helping other people. Triple H radio station coming soon. So this is all still practice mode. It's looming ever closer, my big walk though. 26th of December, just around the corner. And I need to pull my finger out. So I've had a week of, you know, dealing with the illness, dealing with this MRI stuff. But I need to be out there and be seen. And I think that the flag thing mostly sort of does work. People who see me, and this is me, walking around like this, I think they sort of just naturally get that it's just one guy. I don't work for a charity. I'm just one guy trying to do something, hopefully something righteous, and they sort of get that it's like superheroing up for science, you know, that we're trying to really fix something. And you know, good, bad, or indifferent, that kind of the flag seems to be a really, and the costume overall seems to be a real shortcut to that. So for the most part, the words of kindness and support that I've received are so great and nurturing, and thank you so much for that. It's tremendously healing for me to know that I, even in a little way, am being of service. And that doesn't just mean helping the charity. It means in doing something constructive, in doing something positive, it's showing you that anything I can do, you can do better. You know what I mean? So it's asserting that all of us can take that stance, and however it looks. For a normal person, it might not involve dressing up like a superhero. For a normal person, it might involve just general good works, or, you know, Meals for Wheels or something. Just getting out there and finding a problem in the world and leaning into solving it. Because we don't, you know, not all problems can be solved, but it's the underlying intent. The outcome matters, but the intention matters as well. And that's why it's something that freaks me out a little bit these days. You've got all like this combative, adversarial stuff going on, people waving flags and screaming at each other, just saying, you know, I'm right, you're wrong, you suck, I'm great, and not finding that middle ground. And that sort of alarms me. But for the most part, people that I've met face to face have been wonderful. But online, people are a bit, I don't know, pretty quick to jump in there and attack each other these days, which disturbs me, having 3 young kids. I am prone, occupational hazard, to an old man ramble. So take it all with a grain of salt. Yeah, we're crossing now is this the Goodwill Bridge? What's this one called? I should know, don't know. Gonna head over through the Botanical Gardens, in through the city, then back out to Kenmore. Maybe pick up some food at Indooroopilly. Can I fit under this ceiling? A little bit shy about this streaming stuff when there's other people around, because it makes it look like I think I'm the star of my own movie or something. Now we should get a lovely river view up here, so we'll get up here and stop and take a look at the city again. But yeah, aside from just trying to do my best in general and figure each thing out as I come up to it, which I've had to do with equipment with like solar power and, you know, like a hammock solution that'll preserve me from snakes and insects, I'm just muddling through. So if you're one of the lovely people who at this early point are curious about what I'm doing, if you see that I'm doing something wrong or that I could be doing something better, I would love to know it. I have only a very particular old man's perspective, and oh, that's nice here. You want to have a look? So we don't want to knock anyone off a bike. There you go, there's lovely Brisbane. Have a gander. So that's the River City, and let's keep going. You know, maybe I need to be more entertaining. Maybe I need to forget about that. Maybe I need to not talk at all. I really don't know. Just muddling through. And only half of it's for you. I've always got my kids in the front of my mind. Not just them today, but 20 years from now. I've got to be aware that this flag, you know, my children as adults might one day watch this and know how much I love them, and that you know, even though the world's a bit shaky sometimes, all in all, that I held hope for them, and that we as a species are headed in the right direction. You know, we might not always feel that way, but you know, I think, you know, you see me here trying to do the right thing, as weird as it looks, but I'm not the exception. You know, I think everybody has that in them, and maybe that's my hope. I'd like to provoke that in you. You know, it's part of it anyway. It doesn't matter whether it's conventional. The less conventional it is, the more I enjoy it. Not everybody will feel that way, but you know, the fact that we can all just have a dream and have a crack. I think, especially after just being locked in our homes for so long, it's good to, I don't know, lean into life a little bit. Anyway, old man ramble, like I said. So, yeah, let's show you I want to get an impression of, like when I look, I can see the lovely detail of South Bank behind me. Let me tilt this and okay. Just learning the stick. Don't want to drop this in the the river. And then we've got like this. So when I look over here, I can see with my eyes, even though chemotherapy has impacted my vision, I can see intricate detail, but my phone, it's not exactly the world's best camera. So I'm curious to see, you know, in the vantage point behind me, how much we can see. When I get home, I watch these streams. I might be the only one. Although every now and then it seems people have dropped in, and I have to remember to check for comments. Hi, person watching today. If you want me to do a little dance or something, let me know. So we're just taking a wander through the city. I'll keep streaming, even though I'm really just rambling. I'm curious to see if the stream drops out at any point and that the quality of the sound is okay. I think, I don't know, it's good to have better control of the camera like this. When I do it over the shoulder, I just have to take it on faith. I set it up and walk. That's full on. There was a dude there, feet covered in blisters, and he was just sort of treating himself with like a nail file or something, trying to rub them down. Don't want to get an infection, buddy. So, you know, walk blisters, that's going to be a big consideration for me during the big walk. You know, when I did the Gold Coast walk, that was 23 hours of pretty much continuous walking. And when I did it, I got some really cracker blisters. I didn't do it smart. I didn't rest as frequently as I should. Take the boots off every so often. I just got into this like samurai mindset, I suppose. So let's see, we may have to limbo under this bridge here. But yeah, the Kids Cancer Project, I randomly stumbled on them. So for me, the whole idea started with repeating a walk that I did as a child. So I left home when I was 15 years old. I was in a very bad situation, a hopeless situation. So there was a parent with an addiction, volatile, dark behaviours, and I just had to escape. So I had younger brothers, I got them ferried off into care at different family members, aunties and stuff, and I hit the road because I had this childhood memory of being with my grandparents when I was much younger, when my mother had gone into prison for about a year, I think it was, and I lived with my grandma and grandpa, and it just, the memory of that was like an idyllic time. It was very happy memory. So when I was 15 and I needed to escape, it was my grandmother that I needed to go to, and that journey, that was my big walk. It was my first big walk, and it was about adventure and hope. I didn't want to get picked up by the police. I didn't want to hitchhike. I wanted to evade detection by any authorities. I didn't want to wind up in foster care. So I mainly walked down the beach, slept in scrub off the beach or under bridges and whatnot. Under a bridge near Ballina, I woke up one time with a carpet snake curled up in the crook of my back. And I didn't know they did that. It was just using me like a warm rock, I think. And I had no idea snakes did that. I jumped up, banged my head on the bridge, ran out all dizzy and messed up. It was funny. But yeah, that was an adventure. And the whole idea started with me wanting to rediscover that and apply that muscle memory of hope and renewal into my much older life now, after the struggle with the stage 4 cancer. But I realized that if I was going to do that, I could actually execute on it. I could create a plan and do it for a charity. So I did my research, and I found the Kids Cancer Project, and there's a lot of cancer charities out there. Some of them focus on supporting the family, like Ronald McDonald House. Basically it's like running a hotel for affected people to stay at. But they charge too. So it's not, I've spoken to some of these oncology parents. They have a lot of bad things to say about Ronald McDonald House. So this is just me hearsay, I suppose, but they've had difficulty using it. It's been costly, had very strict rules, and this is at a time when you're dealing with the stress of a child diagnosed with cancer. But I looked at all of these different charities, sort of researched the comments around them, and just framed my own opinion. And yeah, the Kids Cancer Project for me was the most constructive one to support, in that it's about going to the cause. It's about the science behind dealing with the problem. So, the numbers are absurd. It doesn't, I can't figure it out. It's like 200 children a year, and the average age is 6. That's dying to cancer every year, pediatric cancer, specific cancers that don't really affect adults. So examples of things like neuroblastoma. There are certain types of leukemia and blood cancer specific to kids. And for me, the idea of softening the treatments, making the chronic health problems better, lowering those mortality numbers, it's such a wonderful measure. I'm like a data rational person, you know. At the end of the day, if I look at the faces of the people impacted, it breaks my heart. But when you think of a life saved today, but you extrapolate that over the next 10 years, it's 10 lives saved, and that's a wonderful thing. So that's become, well, it's my biggest motivation for the stuff I'm doing at the moment. You know, walking through the city now. Why? In the hopes that someone sees the flag and goes, "Ooh, that guy's cray-cray. Let's donate." You know, some people seem to think they're donating to me. It's not. It's the Kids Cancer Project. So I selected that charity because I think that no child should have to endure the stuff that I went through. Basically, I have an understanding. A totally clear understanding of the kinds of side effects that you face up to when you take chemoradiation, and the idea of a little child with no idea one way or the other, who should be out learning to ride a bicycle, you know, dealing with that stuff. It's a mess. So that's what my selection was about, and I just have to cross fingers and hope I don't screw it up too badly. That so far the charity's made, I think, about $22,800. So we're 10% there. So if you are interested in what I'm doing enough that you're watching this right now, can you send it to Aunt Gladys, Uncle Barry? You know, just and ideally with some heartwarming words of your own. Look at this guy. He's mental, but the cause. Jeez, Aunt Gladys. Pediatric cancer. Wow. Have to solve it, Aunt Gladys. And you know, maybe Aunt Gladys will jump on board. So my hope is that if I ask, we can create a little bit of a charity chain letter. Because I guess that's the benefit of this thing that I'm doing. I don't work for the charity. It's unusual. So I have no interest in going up to people in shopping centres and hassling them or guilting them into supporting the charity. All I want to do is have a chance to spruik it a bit, to explain why I think it matters. And if you don't, I love that you're interested in the walk and that it might help you somehow, or even just be funny. I don't mind. It's all good. Sharing that. Don't feel bad about the charity stuff. But you know, for the people who do have that resonance, that they get it, that it's an important thing, then you know, it's like, look at me, but look past me at that. And it's not the normal kind of charity stuff that you see out there. So I hope that the strangeness of it doesn't undermine the success of it. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed anyway. So we're walking through the Brisbane Botanical Gardens. There's a little grove of bamboo here. When I was little, I used to love a TV show called Monkey Magic. Monkey! Now, we lived in a rural community, North Queensland, and they had rainforest bamboo groves. I used to love harvesting the bamboo sticks and turning them into a fighting stick, my magic wishing star. And I'd run around fighting friends and stuff with it, screaming, "Monkey!" That's what little, you know, 7-year-old Simon was like. Singing the song, he was like, "Born in an egg on a mountain top. Monkey is spunky, he'll never stop." Something like that. It was on the ABC. I've got the boxed set at home I bought at some point. Good show. Read the book. It was written in like 500 AD or BC or something by some Chinese philosopher. It's about the Monkey King, Sun Wukong. So he was born of a stone egg and developed, you know, magical powers and ran amok in heaven and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, lovely story, loved it as a kid. It had this great little preamble, but I don't think I could remember it. Maybe I could. Let's try. In the world before monkey, primal chaos reigned. Heaven sought order, but the phoenix can fly only when its feathers are grown. And then what was the next bit? Ooh, something about a magical rock old as creation. And the four elements, the wind and the fire and the sun and the moon, all focused on this magical rock, and it became magically fertile. That first egg was named Thought. Tathagata Buddha, the father Buddha, said, with our thoughts we make the world. Elemental forces caused the egg to hatch, and from it then came a stone monkey. The nature of monkey was irrepressible. And I totally couldn't remember the middle bit. Never mind. You see what one bamboo grove can bring back? Now for me, I was a walking ghost in December, and I take tremendous hope in that. The idea that you can be just a zombie, like really walking around just barely doing the day-to-day, and then after just like 10 months of working hard, you can come alive again to the point that you just get random little moments, you know? A bamboo grove triggers a memory about a TV show that you loved as a child. Now here we are, we're in the little swampy lakey. Take a look at that, where are we? This is all really just helping me practice doing better work with the camera too. I'm going to be very careful not moving this selfie stick over a body of water, because Captain Australia ain't no stupid goofball. Well, I guess that remains to be seen. It's arguable. Okay, so wandering through the city, looking very pretty. Why don't think I look pretty. Breaking into rhyme and rap. I'm not really sort of helping myself with regard to credibility, I think, with some of my rambles. I just do this sort of stream of consciousness, riggedy ramble, and I should have more of a plan. I think I keep telling myself that with these streams, nobody wants to see this old idiot walk through the city jibber-jabbering about monkey, but that's what I end up doing anyway. So yeah, anyway, the story, told you the story, the big walk that I took as a child, and then I'm now going to repeat as a much older man. That's all good, that's all clear, and the fact that it's in service of the Kids Cancer Project, we all know that now. What's it going to be like every single day? 40k I think will be my daily minimum walk, which I think for anybody, do it once, no big deal. Have a sleep, do it the second day, oh yeah, you might have to dig in. Third day you're starting to, well, hang on, not sure how long I can sustain this for. And I will be doing it for 70 days or something in that neighborhood, yeah, at that pace, and allowing a little bit of, you know, stopping in communities or going down a garden path, or, you know, there's a guy in Ulladulla. I owe him a beer, he owes me a beer, so I have to, you know, make sure that I allow time in the quest just to meet people. That's probably going to be the best part of the streaming, really, because when I walk, I'll go to places, I'll seek people out to have a chat, I think, share them with you. So I think that's probably where the streams will get a little bit more interesting. Right now I'm just focusing on practicing the technical stuff, you know, walking around so I don't bump into people, having visual and sound quality that is at least a little bit viable, managing the flag so I don't bump into buildings and whatnot. But that's all just practical stuff. I think it's actually less important than what I can show you, like what we can share. And I'm not really sure about that. all I know is that these old man rambles, I'm a bit sort of self-conscious about it because I'm just an old man. Lots of construction stuff going on in the city. Maybe I should try popping you on the shoulder for a bit and see how that goes. Actually, I'm not sure I'm up for the Tetris game that is navigating through all of these low warnings and stuff. That said, being seen by people is kind of what I need to do as well. Look at the big walk flag. Wow, what's that mean? Oh, let's search that on Google. Wow, it's for a charity. Oh, that sounds nice. Let's go donate to that. So avoiding the population centre would seem strategically unsound. So, let's just keep moving forward. Beep beep. So, let's I think I killed the camera angle there. You want to see how it looks sideways? Okay. Oh, no, doesn't like the angle. Facebook is pretty strict with their camera angles, huh? Okay. You can see me, I can see you, you can see the flag. I don't know if you can hear me okay, I really have no way of knowing. So I've got these new earbuds in, they should be pretty good. But, don't know. Can't say for sure. Oh, green light means what's... I don't know if you can see. So there's a awning, a roof here. And it is lower than a magic flag. So we have to walk along the gutter like this. Just to avoid having to limbo or dismantle the flag. Cross River Rail, putting in a new rail system, that's pretty cool. Jump down there, get around that. Hey man, how are you? What's up?
Oh, just have a look at the banner.
Oh yeah, I'm walking down to Melbourne at the end of the year for the Kids Cancer Project. I'm Simon, how are you? Yeah, well, Captain Australia. But yes, I'm going to be dressed as this full-fed superhero character just to try and help a charity called the Kids Cancer Project. So yeah, it's going to take me about 10 weeks, I reckon, walking down. And I'm out practicing now, just sort of, you know, how to record stuff and do a good job about it all. Yeah. So what was your name?
Robert.
Robert, yeah, good to meet you, Robert. Yeah. So what's going on?
I'm just trying to get some coin to
Oh, all right, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but well, I'm from West Australia, but I've gone all the way up to Darwin and I've come across some cheap flights to Cairns and I've come all the way down to here.
Okay, have
So
you been in
I'm
Brisbane before? You don't
Yeah,
know?
I have years ago, yeah. So I'm going to the south and Victoria, Melbourne.
Are you rambling all around?
Yeah, I've hitched all the way.
Shit, mate, I might meet you on the road. I'm leaving on Boxing Day when I hit the road, but I'm walking every step of the way, so no cars, planes, trains, automobiles, or any of that stuff. But yeah, geez, it sounds like you've been all over, man.
Yeah, I've worked almost my life, man, you know what I mean? And I had to have a rest. And it took 10 years to do that.
Yeah.
But slowly, you know what I mean? Like it's nothing to do. To revive myself. But I've got to keep motivated, I've got to keep moving, and so I'm doing things that I haven't done for a long time, you know what I mean?
Like
Yeah.
what for example? Like,
Well, the last time I come here I was about 5 years old. Now I'm
Okay.
43, kind of.
Right,
So it's
yeah.
a long time ago.
so seeing places that you remember from your youth and stuff like that. Yeah, that's something that that's part of what I'm trying to do is also for me, because I had a stage 4 cancer, and when I was a kid I went rambling around as well. I walked from Brisbane to Sydney. I had adventures, and it's about sort of getting back to that, I reckon. You know, so that sense of plugging in. Oh, that's nice of him. Here. Watch some food. Oh, good on him, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm missing the mail.
Yeah, but yeah, the idea of getting to those places that you saw when you were younger, and like, you know, even just if you haven't seen the ocean for 10 years or whatever, just to see the ocean is a bloody powerful thing, I reckon, isn't it? Yeah.
Different to the WA side.
Yeah, I haven't been to Perth in years, man. I've never really been all up the WA coast. I'd love to. Like, if I could get a corporate sponsor to say, we'll sponsor you for $500,000 to, I'd walk all around, like, circumnavigate. You know, that'd take a bloody year on the foot, I reckon.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever been done before, but like continuously walking on foot all the way around the outer rim of, you know,
from one point to the other?
from start in Brisbane, end in Brisbane.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
That'd take a year if you were doing about 40k a day, I reckon.
Yeah.
And you'd be bloody tired by the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done, I used to do Cape to Cape from Dunsborough to Augusta, that's from the southwest.
How far would that be?
That's 138 k's.
So you
4 days.
walk it, or
Yeah, 4 days. Depending on how much you carry and what you're carrying. There's that one, there's the Cape to Cape Trail, and there's the Brisbane Cape as well.
so was this like an athletic thing, or just having a journey around
Yes, just
having a ramble?
Yeah, because it's all the way along the coast. Beaches, cross beaches. You know, you got like a kilometre of beach sand you got to walk through. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've been practicing walking on this sand. It's
and
not
then
that bad.
up steps, and then through rocks, and then and then you go through the Byron Upstate Forest for a couple of hours, walking through there, and coming back out onto the coast again. And,
The best thing I've done so far in my practices is I walked from Brisbane to the Gold Coast. I set out at 7 a.m. from Brisbane, and I got down to Nerang at like 3:30 in the morning or something like that. So it was like 90k and just a continuous march, which I thought I was pretty pleased with. But being an broken old man anyway, I thought that was like a pretty good effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something about just getting out and under the air and having a good old walk, I reckon. Yeah.
I was only doing because I was cooped up in a factory for most of my life, and indoors too, you know.
Yeah.
I actually started getting out and about, you know what I mean? And places I just learned from going and being there, you know.
So
sort of
next
one
it's
thing
down to
leads to
Sydney.
another.
You're heading down to Sydney next, is it?
That's where I'm going, to Melbourne, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'll get to Sydney, but yeah, Melbourne, and then I think what I'm going to be doing is going to Melbourne, then I'm going overseas.
What country will you go to?
China, probably.
Do you have your passport?
No, I'll get one, but
Yeah, so that'll be a...
no, possibly get one of them.
But so do you have an address somewhere that you can use? Because I think
Yeah, I've got an address,
Yeah, so to get, because if you've been sleeping rough and shit,
That's
you
right.
can have
They don't need to know any of that, but yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, to be able to get your
Yeah, I've got
passport.
an address,
Yeah,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I've got all that, yeah.
So-
I'll be able to obtain one. It's just the only reason why I haven't is because I've been too busy, mate, you know. My parents or my family, we've never gone overseas in our life, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, we're born here, you know.
I think ideally, if I were choosing what happens for my sons, I've got 3 boys, I'd say when you're young, maybe not so young as like 18, you're too green, like bad shit can happen, but when you're about 23, go for a year or two, like go across Europe, go wherever, and like see the world. Like I did see a bit of the world, but it was when I was much older, and I think a life, you get such a perspective from it. I reckon you'll have a lovely time overseas. But how long do you think you can stay away for? Like,
Well, I don't know.
it's all about visas and stuff, I suppose. Or,
Yes, I've got to, you know, because I've never been before, I've got to sort of do a bit of homework too, you know. But hey, look, it's because going from Perth to Melbourne on a flight, there's a stopover. There's no direct flight from Perth to there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The cost to get on a plane to go from Perth to Melbourne.
So they've only just started international flights like last week, I think,
Yeah,
because they've just been dead in the water because of COVID. Yeah,
It's expensive, see. So going from Melbourne to there, I've halved the cost already.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing it that way. I mightn't even do it yet, but that's what I'm looking at doing.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah,
I hope
because
you
it's
get
closest,
from
you know what I mean? Indonesia and then you know, China and that. That's,
well, you go hitting
that continent's the closest.
China would be full on too. There's
Like
such
America's
this.
a lot fucking further.
Yeah. No, I didn't like
I'd like to
America.
go there, but
I like the beauty of the country. I've seen the Grand Canyon, for instance, and it'll knock your socks off, man. But the whole, there's this weird tipping economy where every single human interaction you have is about like the money of it, and it's this weird, non-genuine kind of feeling to somebody who's never come from it. It just feels culturally a bit weird to me. Like if you grew up in it, it's probably fine, and it's just a part of your natural way you breathe and eat, you know. But for me, it just felt constantly as if, you know, if I say hi to somebody and they say hi back, it's because I have to give them $5 after the meal or whatever, and it takes away the genuineness of just saying hi. You know what I mean? But China, man, I'd love to walk through China. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on with China these days, with all this sort of economic and military stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've always loved the culture, loved the country, the natural beauty of it. Oh crap! I forgot this thing. I've been carrying this bloody thing, and it's all flopping everywhere. Sorry. I have not put you on the camera, mate. If you're very shy, but I think it's been recording while I've been jibber jabbering. So I go walking all through the city, and I'm practicing it because part of it I'm making a diary for my kids too, in case the cancer ever came back for me. They can see who I was and what I was trying to do and all that sort of shit. Man, but walking through China, I would love to. Yeah, it's so cool, man. So Indonesia, though, you won't just go to like Bali or like you'll go rambling around Indonesia a bit, do you think?
Possibly, yes.
Try and learn a bit of the language, maybe?
I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you dive in and swim, don't you?
Yeah,
Like,
well, they say not to because it's very little, you know. Depends on your dialogue. If you can actually learn the word and memorise it.
It depends on how long you're planning to stick
whole,
around for too.
A
Like,
whole, you know, not just a sentence, but actually have a conversation.
back and forth of it.
Yes, then it's okay, you know, in some sense. But
if you're going to be there for 6 months or something, I reckon you can pick up enough to ask for a meal and talk about whatever, you know, like.
yeah, I'm probably looking for a bit of work and stuff like that, you know, get over there in the car industry, in the scrap industry, or the metal industry, or something.
Right.
It's not being a boiler mate with that, you know, no, metal and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, because I'm on a pension, see, disability, DSP.
Right.
And that's for having a rest. That's to have a rest.
If you're,
I've done too much. You know, so
so it's sort of it's you're burnt out.
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I've done
I
way
know
too
what
much.
you're
I've never stopped since I was a child, mate.
Yeah.
I had to for my health.
Well, if you've got that entitlement too, when you're over in Indonesia, like money stretches so much further in like the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia than it does here. Like I've been to the Philippines. My wife is from the Philippines. I've learned a bit of the language. Like Pinay ang asawa ko means my wife is a Filipino. But yeah, the you can buy a meal for like a big robust meal for a family for like what would be $10 here. You know, I mean, I'm sure it's changed because they're in an inflationary cycle, but man, you could really stretch your income.
Yeah, I don't think it was a whole lot more, something like that. But
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Look, I'm sorry, I better keep bopping along. I've got to get home to the kids and all this. Pleasure to meet you, buddy. All the best.
Yeah, I
hope you get down okay to Melbourne. And yeah, I'm leaving on Boxing Day. We may even overlap somewhere in the future, man. I will remember your name and face if we bump into each other in bloody Coffs Harbour somewhere. But you'll be hitchhiking down, will you? Is that?
I'm going to get the bus. That's why I'm still here. Yeah, waiting for mine. I got out as far as the 8 Mile Plains, you know, and I went. But you know, I can't walk on the. I didn't feel right getting on the M1 or the.
Oh yeah, it's illegal too. They'll pick you up. You'll end up in the watch house.
I was trying. I was trying to hit here anyway. You know, like, if I could get far enough, then I'd be alright. That's what I was thinking.
The best bet if you're going to go on one of the major freeways is you find like a petrol station somewhere and you just make friends with the truckie, I reckon, because some of them, they're lovely blokes and they'd like to have a chat. So I reckon, I've never done that, but my theory is if you're nice and honest and you just have a g'day and a little thing, and they're going down to Sydney anyway.
Yeah.
They might share a patch of road with you.
It's quite true.
But if you're taking the bus down, it's neither here nor there, I suppose.
Yeah, because I hitched from Cairns to Serena, and then I stayed in Serena for a few days until I got my money, and then I got a bus from there to here.
Right. Oh, so now you're waiting on the pay again, and then you head down to Melbourne.
Since Thursday, so just Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know how the bloody sickness numbers are down in Melbourne at the moment too. Like it's all the news coming out of Melbourne is always a little bit weird these past few months. You know, like the death numbers are up, and they're having all this new legislation and all that sort of stuff.
I've seen the hotspots in Victoria, I think, something like that. It was in Darwin and Cairns. It was advertised there, the hotspot.
Did you get your jabs at all?
I've had them.
Yeah. Probably all good. Touch wood.
I've never bothered to worry about it.
Yeah, me either. I want to be respectful to other people and all that, but I couldn't. COVID doesn't disturb me on any level. But that's when you're coming out of stage 4 cancer, it's like that. But yeah, if COVID gets me, that's just going to be a stupid joke. You know, like, come on, man. But yeah. Oh, well, sorry, buddy. I've got to go and meet up with my kids and all that shit. Pleasure to meet you. Best of luck. I hope you get to Indonesia, and I hope you have a real adventure, my friend. All the best. Lovely bloke. Sorry, I probably should have asked his permission. I don't know if you can hear the conversation or not, if it's just me with my earbuds. I've got it in an ambient sound mode, where you're supposed to be able to hear the sounds around as well as me. So he's a lovely fella who is looking to go overseas. Can I fit under here? Okay, we'll soon find out. Well, the stream's still going. Someone watching, g'day. So I'm in the middle of Brisbane. Don't know who's been watching or for how long. Gonna walk through the city and then down to the river, and I'll follow the river home. So from here to my home, still about like 10k, I think. And it's good to get out walking again after a period of illness. Picked up the flu from my eldest son. He's had a week off school. It was really severe, and I've had a week convalescing with him, which is cool. We get to hang out and be a couple of sick dudes together. Sick dudes! But yeah, it's also been in tandem with this new health concern where I need an MRI. Oh, I'm getting some looks. You become immune after a while. When I was chatting to that guy just then, I completely forgot that I'm dressed like the buffhead superhero Captain Australia. But now as I glance around and being stared at, I am extremely aware of it. Here we go. So there's some construction here of the new inner city train, and I think I can fit underneath it. Let's see, we may have to limbo a little. No, we're good. Okay. Okie dokie. Banner is just a perfect fit. Snug as a bug in a rug. Look at that. See that? So the intention is to, on the walk to Melbourne, to have this up the whole way. A couple of reasons for that. Firstly, obviously, it's a shortcut for people to understand the charity. But it's also high visibility. So when I'm on the road, like the other day, an old man fell over in the middle of the road. Traffic. He crossed against the lights and he just fell over and he couldn't get up. I ran out and I was able to help him up. And the flag meant that nobody ran us over, I reckon, because they wouldn't have been able to see him lying down. So, you know, the visibility of it. And also if I stop in a park somewhere or something, I can just set it up, and it's unlikely that the authorities will, you know, think that I'm a shady character trying to rob someone's house or something. They'll know that I'm just a buffhead doing something for charity. So, walking through the city as you do. This is how we look like from the side. From behind. I can do a George Clooney Batman and show you my side. Oh, in comparison to George Clooney, I suppose I've got 4 bums. But does he still make movies? I mean, act in them? Last I saw those Oceans movies. Anyway, old man ramble. Sorry about that. As you can see, this one. Okay. Want to not annoy anybody with my narcissistic camera. Look at me, I'm Captain Australia. Hey. Now these they're called charity hecklers. The job is to actually engage and like really get into your headspace, get you invested into a dialogue. I don't like that. The cynicism of it. If you help the Kids Cancer Project, please do it just with love. And you don't feel obligated. I think for me the goal here is to invoke in you an awareness, and then touch wood. Oh, I can't get through here. I don't know if you can see. So now we have a barrier. All these low-hanging cafe sort of thingamabobs. I may do a little bit of jaywalking here, I think. Yep, let's do a little bit of jaywalking. Get up on the gutter here. That's better. Okay. Well done, Captain Australia. You can cross the road. Okay. Well, so we are approaching the Queen Street Mall. Lovely. And let's reorient. But yeah, those charity hecklers, they kind of, you'll walk out from your job or you'll walk in to buy your groceries or whatever, and they'll choose these targeted locations with these very specific agendas. And the thing that bugs me about it is the causes are typically going to be wonderful causes, but there's this corporate structure over the top of it that mandates the most efficient way for them to harvest your dollar, as opposed to like charity. The very word, it's a beautiful word. It's like hope, you know, it's like kindness. But if you think of charity, you're often probably going to have a little bit of a headache or a sense of, you know, entitled guilt or something, like I'm doing well, so I should, oh yeah, I guess I should give some money to the World Health Organization or whatever. And it's like a grudge thing, which is sad, because if you help a charity, good on you. You know, it's so nourishing. It's such a positive, lovely thing. But unfortunately, by trying to be as effective as they can, these charity hecklers, they render it transactional. So, you know, you're not a human being, you're a donor. The conversation that they have, it's not a genuine conversation, it's a script. And good, bad, or indifferent, I'm not talking a script now. So, you know, I think there's something for all of us to navigate towards, I don't know, just trying to be as authentic as possible, I guess. And I totally get it that that's said by some idiot in a mask, you know. Here we are. We're in, Queen Street Mall. Let's have a look around. So we've got Christmas decorations coming up, which is nice. Let's have a little look around. 5:22. This is the Queen Street Mall. I have no idea if you can hear me okay, actually. So for all my talking, I may be talking to myself. Is that a song? Eminem, maybe? I'ma keep talking to myself. Everybody knows my struggle. What is that from? Oh God, I hate that when you get it. You know when you get a lyric in your head. Yeah, no, it is Eminem. Hello, mate. How are you? Thank you. Cheers. Little dude just told me that I look cool. Lovely. Little dude like 6 years old or something. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the river, walk along the river, head out to Indooroopilly, call home, see if they would like me to pick up some takeout food maybe. Kids love duck. When I was a kid, if you asked me to eat duck, I'd be like, oh, that doesn't sound like beef or nuggets. But yeah, my kids, they love duck, fried duck. So might wind up picking up some of that for them. And I've still got a good 8k or so to go to get home. Walking through the city, feeling very pretty. Uh-oh, swear word rhymes with that. Okay, Christmas decorations are up. So, let's see. Coronation Drive, and there's this lovely little bike path, walking path along the river. I think I'll head down there, walk along that. The smart choice would probably be to walk actually up on the road along Coro Drive, because all these people stuck in traffic can see the banner, and in their traffic fatigue boredom might notice it. Whereas down along the walkway there'll just be fitness enthusiasts jogging and walking and stuff. Oh, I have to make intelligent choices. How do you make an intelligent choice when your equipment is compromised? Oh, okay. So this is the casino. Let's have a look at the casino. There you go. So that's the Crown Casino of Brisbane. It's behind me there. So if you've got some money to gamble away, as Wesley Snipes said, always bet on black. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's not just one thing. What was that from? The movie was Passenger 57. Wesley Snipes went to jail, didn't he? I don't know what for. I imagine in America to be a tax thing. So what else was he? He was in Blade. Wesley Snipes seems a nice enough chap. Yeah, that was Passenger 57. Those movies seem to have had their dash, like where it's, you know, one dude, a Van Damme or a Schwarzenegger or a Stallone versus an army of, you know, criminal scumbags, and they're all shooting or fighting and kicking and whatever. But these days we still have unrealistic violence in our movies, but it's less of that 80s action hero sort of thing. Not sure if that's good, bad or neutral. My favourite type of movies. Okay, that's it. Yeah, let's talk about something unrelated to cancer. You know, I like a good horror movie. I always have. But I have lots of sort of quite varied tastes in movies. Example, one of my favourite movies, and this, an older Australian male might hesitate to admit this, but one of my favourite movies is called The Princess Bride. Okay, now it's a fairy tale story, and it's just told in this cute, innocent sort of a way. I don't know, but I like it. It's very watchable. It's got Andre the Giant, who was a fabulous wrestler when I was a much younger person. But no, I love a good horror movie. One of my favourites is The Exorcist. I like that movie. I don't really like the torture porny type horror movies, you know, like the Saw, Jigsaw stuff. I like more supernatural horror, slow burn horror. Like there was that movie The Witch. Quite enjoyed that. I thought it was well acted and a bit creepy. Action adventure movies I don't like so much. They're okay. Like one of the first movies I remember seeing as a child was Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I loved it. and that's probably the archetype action adventure movie. But for the most part, those ones like where, you know, Nicolas Cage is trying to find the Declaration of Independence or whatever, those sort of movies for me are just popcorn and turn your brain off, and I like a movie where you have to sit down and think. The most recent movie I saw was on Netflix called The Lighthouse. So it's Willem Dafoe and that glittery Twilight vampire dude, Patterson. He's the next Batman. What's his name? David? Is it David Patterson? I'm not sure. Anyway, quite well acted, but a very strange movie. Movies. I don't mind a superhero movie. But the movies in my life that I remember most are things like The Deer Hunter. You know, movies which have like some sort of underlying emotional sort of thing. Like, you know, there's Sophie's Choice, things like that. Unbearable Lightness of Being and all those sort of metaphysical, sort of airy-fairy ones. Don't mind a movie that makes you sort of have to try and figure it out. One of the weirdest movies I saw was, you know, that Mother. What's her name? I didn't like it at all. I thought it was a pretty mediocre movie as an experience, but it was good in that it's thought-provoking. You're trying to figure it out. Jennifer Lawrence, right? Yeah, and Javier Bardem is like God. And I think the metaphor of it is she's Mother Earth, and her house is like, it's her and her home are Earth, and the people in the movie represent like our society coming in to wreck it and wreck her, contaminate her innocence, and that it's all a big cycle that we've done before and will do again. Something like that. Anyway, I saw, because what had me figuring that out was like, they had her children come in or something. I don't know, there was a Cain and Abel reference in there. That's what did it for me, you know. Anyway, it's all about humanity as a destructive, like a cancer itself, which I don't agree with. I think people generally can be wonderful. But, oops, we're going to have to limbo here. Limbo. So this is what we have to do under a low-hanging thing. Limbo, 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 lay. Limbo, 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 la. Because, that's better. Now we've got plenty of room. What was I talking about? Mother. Oh, this smells of wee. Ugh. Somebody's been weeing down here. That stinks. Just have to cross over so we don't get ran over. Jiggity check myself before I wreck myself. But yeah, the people sleeping under here have just been weeing everywhere. I think it smells real bad. But yeah, the movie Mother I thought was quite intriguing in just trying to figure it out, you know, the subtext of it. And I enjoy puzzles. Yeah, anyway. TV shows like The Walking Dead. I liked Game of Thrones up until they wrecked it. I think just that they ended it too fast with too much of a rush, and they tried to be inventive and tie it all together, so it became contrived. It lost its natural storytelling. Yeah, I mean, those shows got me through cancer treatment, really. You know, like you're able to just sort of, you can't sleep, you're in pain, need distraction. So you've got computer games, you've got TV. And yeah, like I watched The Walking Dead from start until whatever, season 9 or whatever it got up to, 10. I imagine they're probably still making it, but I've lost track now. Moved on. Books, favourite books. When I was about 12 years old, I found a copy of the old. It was 6 or 9 books or whatever. It was individually published, but it was Lord of the Rings. Loved it. So a dear friend of mine bought me a hard copy of that when I was in my 20s or 30s, and I pull that down every few years. it's not actually, there are bits of it that are not very well written at all, if you look at it as like literature or art. But there's just storytelling elements that I love, you know. Hey, maybe it's about a quest. They're taking a big walk, you know, all those little hobbits. Yeah, I like generally pulp type novels. I don't really read much not fiction unless it's for study, but I read like pretty diverse novels. I tend to reread things that I've read before, and that's a sign that you're getting old. When you listen to the same music over and over, read the same books. So I do like to just dive in, and I think my children keep me young, keep up with the memes and stuff. Oh, we've got somebody saying something. Where are you walking today, mate? Yeah, I'm just right now, sorry, I don't want to bump anyone. You can see, so that's the inner city, not the inner city bypass, the bridge that becomes the freeway down to the Gold Coast. So I'm right next to Brisbane. I've just been wandering around the city. So I've had a week of being unwell and dealing with a possible new cancer issue. And so the State Library over there, I don't know if you can see that behind me. Just, whoops, somewhere. Yeah, there we go, that's the State Library. So South Bank is over there. So I'm just now today just getting out and randomly walking, playing with the stream, the camera and the sound. And yeah, we just walked through Queen Street and now I'm wandering along the river back towards Toowong. So I live out at Kenmore, which is in the sort of western suburbs. So I think I'll walk from here to Kenmore and then call it a night, hang out with the kids. And my plan is to pick up some dinner on the way. So there's no specific today is just an organic ramble, you know, which is what I am probably best suited for, both in terms of walking and talking, you know, just a good old ramble. But yeah, I'll try and do some more structured stuff in the week that comes too, because I want to try and sort of practice having a bit more discipline in how I do this. Now that I've been playing with streaming and learning how to do it, and I've gotten to at least a bare minimum level of competence with it, I need to kind of figure out how frequently I should stream when I take my big walk. So it's all in practice for the big walk, and that doesn't start until 26th of December. So anyone who wants to support it can support it today. It's all for the Kids Cancer Project. But the actual physical walk where I leave King George Square, which is just up there, that will be Boxing Day, which is actually my birthday. And I will then walk continuously, Brisbane to Melbourne. I won't stop. Well, I'll stop. I mean, it won't be like, you know, there's no virtual component or whatever. I'm setting out King George Square and I'm arriving Federation Square and I'm walking every day and I'm sleeping. And that's it, you know? So there's no hotels, no resorts, no cars, none of that stuff. It's a pilgrimage. At the end of the day, it's a pilgrimage for me. It's about personal healing, but it's also in service of the charity. So all of this stuff is practice, you know, not necessarily, g'day, how are you? Not necessarily physical practice. I think physically I'm coming along nice. I mean, I know my internal health is pretty healthy, but for this, you know, MRI cancer sort of issue, and I can walk. One sign that your internal health is robust is that you can walk at a reasonably brisk pace and talk at the same time. You're not like in December when I had chemo radiation, it wrecked my thyroid, massive weight gain, it was horrible. And I walked 3K, and at the end of a 3K walk I was like, oh, kill me, I can't breathe. What? Need go home. It was a mess. So now I think physically I'm okay. The pilgrimage is more about my psychological, spiritual, my outlook, my, I don't know, reconciling with my cancer. I'm not a person of faith, but there's a spiritual dimension to it as well. You know, it's one of those just get out into the natural world, unplug all those day-to-day concerns and just be on my mad quest. And that's for me, and it's about healing. And that harkens back to when I was a child. I did a big walk, and it was a healing thing. I left home at the age of 15. It was to escape a really bad domestic situation. So for me, the inspiration to walk grew out of that. But now I'm just practicing for it. You know, I'm just practicing the streams and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I realized if I was going to do it, I could do it quiet and private, or I could do this. And guess what I chose? And why did I make that choice? Yeah, I don't know. I could say that it's this absolutely pure thing. It's only for the charity, but it's fun for me too. This is fun for me. Can't apologise for it. I'm having fun. There's something I think about. For me, this superheroing up for science is an unconscious statement as well. It's me saying to you that all of us can do something. You know, the world feels to me like it's in a bit of free fall, you know? Okay. Hey man, how you doing? Cow! Got a nice fist bump there. I don't know if you saw that. The Facebook doesn't like it when I wobble the camera a bit. For me it feels like there are some aspects of our society that are just unplugged and in free fall. Like, it doesn't seem to me that we build consensus very well anymore. We just want to argue and fight and protest and scream and complain. And I think it's, for me, like by doing this, I'm like saying, let's all just, let's be Spider-Man, you know, let's lift ourselves up. And it's me consciously trying to do that in my own life, for better or worse. Lift myself up, make myself better, stronger, more ethical, more true in my heart, committed to a cause that I think is deeply important. So, you know, why dress up like Captain Australia? It's complicated, but there is also just a very specific, like almost, not cynical isn't the right word, but calculated. I thought it was the best way that I could help the Kids Cancer Project. So by dressing up, my hope is to get this, look at me, look at what I'm doing. I walked to the Gold Coast, I'm walking to Melbourne. Isn't that interesting? But then you look past me and you see the charity, you realize how worthy the cause is, and you support the cause. So that's what this is about as well. But there's something about taking that day-to-day humdrum and saying, hang on, I love the idea that somebody could see me doing this and it could spark their idea, their better idea, you know? Whatever that is. It might be that they'll paint that bridge in secret overnight, whatever it is. But there's that spark of inspiration in all of us, and it's doing the unconventional thing. It's following that path. So anyway, that's what the Big Walk is about as well. Helping the charity, helping myself, and maybe helping you, you know, helping people just sort of shake it up a little bit, you know. And the main thing is, like, I concretely was broken. Like, it's undeniable. I did a video that showed me at my worst, and it's pretty obvious. You can just see there's this absolute bereftness in hope of where I was after my fight with cancer. This is December of last year. Broken. So, broken in every way that matters. So, financially broke. COVID killed my travel insurance company. Broken heart. I was worried that I was going to die and my children would be left without my love. And dealing with the grief of a lost father at such a young age. Spirit broken. Constant side effects and problems. You know, so broken in every sense of the word. And by showing that and the concrete reversal of it, my idea is that that could possibly give hope to other people who are suffering and struggling. So the thing that I groove on, that I just really love about this, is that by putting that process just into the public eye, there might be just this one dude. He could even be a young dude. He's 15 years old, he's confused, he's got like some problem. Let's say he's got a gender issue. He doesn't know who he is. He can't figure it out. And his parents are telling him one thing, his friends are telling him another, his school and his own inclinations inside, and he can't reconcile it all. And this kid, he just feels like there's no hope. Because the idea of hope for me is fundamental. And then he randomly sees this buffet walking to Melbourne on a quest for hope, to have it, to cultivate it, to share it. And it is a very shareable commodity. Hope is like a circle that we can build together, and it feeds and grows. So, you know, the idea that this kid, this unnamed fantasy person, sees that and is able to take hold of it and use it and apply it in their own life and say, you know what, I can figure this out. I can. I just need to wipe away the noise. I need to go back to that basic, g'day, how you doing? G'day. That basic, like, get to the whiteboard and just sort of start writing shit down and, you know, no, squirrel that one out, and you take an experimental step-by-step approach to your problem. Because without hope, your problems cripple you. They do. They break your heart. There's no way that you can see a pathway through them, no matter big or small. It doesn't matter. The problems are individual, and the problems that are profound for me might be trivial for you, and vice versa. It doesn't matter. But without hope, you just don't have the basic ammunition that you need to tackle them, to take that fight on. But with hope, you can just continually re-engage in almost any problem, no matter how dire and profound. So I'm dealing now with the idea of a secondary brain cancer having formed. So after the week after successfully beating stage 4 head and neck cancer, 6 months to live they gave me. 5 years later they declared the malignancy is cured. Total metabolic response to treatment. Bang, you're out of here, Simon. Get out of this bloody hospital. We don't want to see you anymore. You're all good. Great. The week after that, oh, there might be an anomaly, a little 3 times 3 times 3 millimeter mass in the lining of your brain, buddy. And no, it's not affecting this superhero stuff. But then, you know, you have to think, come on, mate, that's just not on. What? How can we? I mean, come on. There's no. You can't make a cogent argument against it. It's just, come on, because it's the week after. But it's fine, because my hope is burning strong. So for me, that would have been a profound and debilitating thing. But let's get the information. When we have the information, let's decide what we do with it. Now I may have to limbo under this, I reckon. Rather than collapse it, let's just lean back a bit. Here we go. It's a real hassle to collapse the banner. So, you might not be able to see, but I'm kind of walking at my back bent at a 45-degree angle. I can go side saddle and put it on my shoulder and stuff, but this is the easiest short-term solution. This dude, old man, just walked past, the look on his face. It's like, what in the sweet weeping hell are you, mate? And I like that. I like that. Because I don't think we're very tolerant of difference these days. Oh no, actually oh no, that's a complicated one. We tend to form teams and fight the other team, and we talk about tolerance and inclusion and all the rest, but I tell you, I still get some bloody weird looks. Anyway, it's kind of nice to just shake the tree a little bit and say, let's do something a little bit strange. So we're walking along the Brisbane River. Anyway, hope. So yeah, the idea that I can give just one life, one person can receive a bit of hope. And that's already happened. So I've corresponded with people who have seen something in the story of what I'm doing. And it's, you know, helped them to, whether it's for a day, a month or a year, to make change in their life. Stop drinking, you know, pull back from depression. So it's all, sorry, I'm getting a bit wobbly with the stick. There we go. So the idea that by creating something hopeful, it can propagate and spread, it's delicious to me, it's wonderful. Anyway, we're goody walking. I've no idea how long this stream's been going for, feels like a while. We've covered quite a bit of ground. I need to have like just a bit of theme music, so as I walk, and you know, we can have a bit of a strut going, you know, a bit of Bee Gees or something. You can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. You think life ain't been that wrong, been kicked around since I was mom. Uh-oh. Sorry, I'm not mental. Oh jeez. That was a bit distressing. Oh well. No, if you make someone smile, it doesn't matter if you look the fool. Yeah. Now you see, I'm already weird though. That's the thing. So when you're BGing it up, it just multiplies it by a factor of 4. Anyway, so there's this nice city cat over there. I don't know if you can. Let's give you a little. Let's practice some angles. So we are up, walking along. I want to get into a. Let's try a few different things with this camera. So let's see. This up there. You should be able to see the city. Less of me, more of the city. It's a bit too wobbly. There we go. So that's the William Jolly Bridge back there. And we're walking along. And let's, yeah, gotta get to the point where this sort of camera stuff is unconscious, you know. So if I want to try something a bit different, we can go long and wide, because I know there's people behind us that we want to have a look at. So let's get a bit of a rear view mirror situation going. Look at that. So now I'm walking forward and we're just peeking over the shoulder. All these joggers. I guess it's a bit curvy when you've got all these extremely super fit, whether it's a dude with his shirt off or lady jogging along. But I'd be careful of that. Hello, puppy. That's a cute dog. Okay. Now what have we got going on here? Get a bit of a look. River. The city behind us. We're having a wiggity walk. Do a bit of a stroll. I'll probably get to Toowong and kill the stream, which is still a good K or so from here. So I need to call home and see if they want me to pick up some dinner, which is good. City cats and whatnot over there. And if we look, let's go like that. So now we're walking in profile. There we go. What are you doing, Captain Australia? Why are you filming yourself, you old fool? Now Spencer, my lovely son, if you're watching this at any point, you are a wonderful dude. Love you, mate. Since I first saw a picture of you in utero, loved you. It's just like a little video of you before you were even born. That taught me what love is. It really did. Because before you discover true love, whatever shape that takes in a life, love is transactional. And most adult love is like that, you'll love the person as long as they don't cheat on you, or you'll love the person. Oh, somebody's asking something. Doing good, mate. Well, thank you so much. Cheers. Sorry, I was just talking to my my current son, a future iteration, imagining him like 20 years from now, and just explaining how I fell in love with him before he was born. And it applies to, I have 3 children, and the feeling was it was like gravity in each case. But yeah, when you discover true love, you realize that love up until that point was like a deal, like a contract. So you fall in love, but you'll only love your partner as long as they love you back. Well, no, that's not true. You can love them if they don't love you back, but you will love them as long as they don't cheat on you. Or you will love them as long as they never ever make fun of Pokemon. Whatever it is, you have your own criteria, and your love is contingent on that criteria. So when I first saw pictures of my son in utero, that just changed immediately. It was literally like being bashed across the face with a big ocean fish, like a big fish, knocks you over kind of hit. And I couldn't, it was just a profound mind shift, I couldn't pin down any specific, like a change in the ethical framework or anything, it was just fundamental. So you see the child in utero and it's bang, it's like an explosion in your mind and your heart, and suddenly you understand that love is it shouldn't and doesn't need to be transactional. It should not have conditions. You should love without any sort of fear, even though it's terrifying. And in love, it's better to give. Like receiving is almost immaterial. Love is about giving. And all of these understandings just sort of wash over you, and then you can apply them into your actual life, your other loving relationships, your adult relationships. So you become better, as a partner. I mean, no, that might sound a bit sort of aspirational or something, but that's what happened for me anyway. Before, there's a clearly delineated before and after. Before, I kind of understood love, but I came from a place of trauma too. Like when I grew up, when you have a parent who's an addict, you learn weird lessons about love. And love is transactional, and it is manipulative, and it is codependent, and there's guilt, and when the parent chooses their addiction over you, you also wonder, are you even worthy of love? You know what I mean? So you learn all of these contaminated lessons about it. So coming from that place lends a more stark contrast, if that makes sense. So when you look at that moment of epiphany where you start to understand what love means, it is made more profound by the fact that, the before was less healthy. It was a further step removed maybe from natural, organic love. So in contrast, it's just more black and white as opposed to grey and white. But yeah, I think though that it's a still, for most people, there would be that before and after, and it is, the profundity of it applies regardless. It teaches you something, and it's something that you have to remind yourself of too. You know, you can't just change in a day. You know, really applied meaningful change over a lifetime. It's about mindfulness and remembering. You can fall into these sort of, like my cancer zombie, 4 years of my life. I don't know, it's only the love of my children probably that kept me afloat, you know. If it was just me and my wife, I don't know, and I adore her, she's wonderful. But it's that unconditional love that is such a powerful thing. And it's easy to take it for granted and just allow it to slip into this daily living. But if you can find a way to channel it, my God. So yeah, I don't know, part of what I'm doing with the big walk is to be the best me I can be, I suppose, as silly as that might sound. And that's also about love. It's about talking to my son 10 years from now, you know? When he's gone away to school, I may or may not be alive, you know, but I'm talking to him now, down the river of time, telling him what I thought about love, and that he was loved, and hopefully still around, so remains so. Anyway, that just made me think of a phrase we'd all be familiar with: tough love. It's funny, isn't it? So as a father, I sometimes I get stuck in this role of disciplinarian. I don't like it, it's not natural to me. I recognise the need for it, at least to some extent, because a lot of children these days seem to grow up without some of the fundamental lessons that you need, like just in terms of what's okay and not okay. You know, in my neighbourhood, some kids were breaking into cars, stealing just private citizens' private belongings. You know, that to me, that's low. You know, I can understand a teen going on a shoplifting spree or whatever, like it's a cry for help sort of stuff, but just to rob some, you know, a neighbour's property, it's just lame and wretched. And the kids need to learn as early as they can what's okay and not okay. And as a parent, and look, gender roles aside, but it's normally dad's job in a historical sense, to kind of be that, no, you don't do that, and blah blah blah. But it doesn't come natural to me, and I don't enjoy it, but I have to sometimes do it. And it made me think of that phrase, yeah, tough love, which, I don't know, my heart tells me it's garbage. I don't think, like, the world will give you that, you know, you'll get the toughness. So I don't know what I'd do if any of my children had like a profound, I know they were an addict or something, where I'd have to be thinking in terms of that phrase, tough love, because I don't know if I'd be capable of it. Because my job is to just deliver love. You know, I just have to love them, hope for the best. Anyway, you see, old man ramble. Jibbity, 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 jabber, Captain Australia. Here we go, walking along. So, behind us, oh, you can see we've come a distance. It's the Brisbane River. Off to our left, which might be your right, I'm not sure. I think when the phone's in reverse, so that way, to you, appears to be right. If I'm correct, there's like a mirror effect. But that's my left. Anyway, not that it matters. So, wiggity wiggity walking. Okay, chickadee, check yourself before you wreck yourself. What is wrong with me? I don't know. So, Captain Australia's Big Walk, 26th of December. Next month. Basically about a month and 5 days or whatever away. Christmas Day, I'm with the kids. Boxing Day, I wake up, it's my birthday, have a birthday breakfast, a good half hour cuddling each of the people who are most precious in my life. I kiss them on the head, tell them I love them, and that I'll see them soon, and I'll stay in daily
contact with them. But that's going to be the hardest thing of it. You know, 8 to 10 weeks away from the people that I care most about. But then I'm going to catch a bus into King George Square, because that's where the walk will start, middle of Brisbane, CBD. I will put on my mask, I will put up my flag, and I will start walking south. And the goal in that first day, I think, is to get out of Brisbane. I may walk all night, so I've done it before and I can do it again. I think getting to the Gold Coast as soon as possible, that means I'll have momentum and I'll be away from Brisbane. I just want to get across the border, get into New South Wales, because that's where the big walk proper will start. And if I just walked like 40k a day, it'd be 3 days before I'm in New South Wales. So I think that first part of the walk I just need to power through. So it's kind of good. Like the start of it is also a little bit of an endurance contest, because like walking 100k or more consistently without, I'll take incremental rest. Like the idea is walk for 3 hours, that's about 15k, rest for 15, 30, stretch the legs, wiggle the toes, take the boots off, put the boots back on, do another 3 hours. So the idea is, in that sense, I'll get at least, I think, just north of the Gold Coast, and maybe sleep somewhere around Tumour or Dreamworld or whatever, or maybe even push through. I'll just have to play it by ear on the day. But yeah, 26th of December, g'day, how you doing? 26th of December, I will depart, and then I'll be on the road for a minimum. If I make 40k a day, every day, it's a minimum of a good 2 months. And I need to leave room for adventure. I need to leave room for discovery, wandering down a garden path. So, although I plan every day to do at least 40k, and probably as many days I'll do more than that, but I also need to have room to stop, attend a function. Like I was thinking, there's a New South Wales coastal town, Woy Woy. So at different towns that I stop at, I could have something like the Woy Woy Soy Boy Challenge, where I have to drink soy sauce or whatever. And if I could do these things as like mini fundraisers, I could be making money for the charity while walking, while on the way down. Oops, sorry, the camera didn't like that wiggle jiggle. So there's the city back there. So that's the idea anyway. And I'll need to be able to stop at some of these places. And I think one remarkable component of the big walk is the people that I meet. Just sharing in some of these characters. Whether it's a New South Wales bush town somewhere, or I might come across some random surfy who's like 70 years old and he's been surfing every day, and he just has some wisdom to throw down, I might wind up in a skate park in bloody Coffs Harbour, battle rapping some teenager, I don't know. But those encounters with the people, I think, are these little moments that I want to collect and share. So I have to, part of this practicing, for all of me rambling along, I'm giving a lot of thought to what's going to be the most important element to share, because I don't think I'll have enough juice, enough power to just constantly stream, like have a stream running 24 hours. Like, maybe that would be ideal. People could just jump in and out and all they're seeing is exactly what I see. Maybe that's not bad. There's a big walk that runs continuously, day in and day out. Even when I'm sleeping, it's pointed at the ocean and the stars. So I've been thinking about how best to do that. I think it's really just make sure to show when there's something worth seeing, to show it. It's probably that simple. But I've been trying to figure out the best approach. And that's what all this practice time is for. But it's not just practice time. I'm also trying desperately to promote the charity. That's what the flag's about. So anyone watching this now or later, share. there's a share button somewhere. I don't know. Is there? I don't know. I suck at this stuff. But if there is, share. Send it to Auntie Gladys and Uncle Barry, please. You don't have to. Don't feel bad if you don't want to. It's okay. It's cool. Seriously, it's all right. It's all good. But if you feel as though you'd like to, or you could, share. Aunt Gladys, Uncle Barry, check this out. Tap in a little message, and you know, that sort of charity chain letter approach, I'm hoping will just drum up some extra awareness and support, because you can donate now. My goal is to raise $250,000 for the Kids Cancer Project. That, for me, I imagine coming out the other side of that, finishing my walk and coming home and being able to say, you know, look at what was done. Look at the result. That translates to, it's something like, you know, 3,000 or 5,000 research hours. I don't know. I saw a thing with the math of how much one research hour costs, but I can't remember it, old bullfed that I am. So the idea that puts a dent and improves the outcome for even just one child facing up to pediatric cancer and their family, bang, I can live the rest of my life with that little flower of warmth in my heart, even if I just sit on my porch for the rest of my days, you know. So that's purely the selfish component of it, you know, that ability to feel that I've, I don't know, done something good, made my peace with the world. Anyway, jibber jabber, old man ramble. It's a shame I'm not like a natural entertainer. I'm actually a introverted and shy person. Does this surprise you? Does this surprise you? Well, it should, maybe, I don't know, but I'm an introverted and shy person, always have been. An outsider, I always have been, and that maybe probably doesn't surprise you, strange fellow that I am. But yeah, I mean, I'm set apart by I have this weird intelligence. I have from my upbringing, a very flexible kind of way of thinking and openness to new ideas. But these aren't all strengths. I'm saying it like they're strengths, but they're not all, like, they're just qualities, because some of them call low battery. Some of them might appear on the surface to be strengths, but when combined, they can actually be quite crippling. You know, getting some nice smiles from people, that's good. We're almost at Toowong. So I'll get to the end of this walk up here and pull everything down, maybe. I don't know. No, I'll keep it up. But yeah, I'll stop the stream. I need to call home and maybe plug it to the power bank. This phone is meant to have like 6 or 7 hours of battery. Don't know how long it's been streaming for. I suppose it's been a couple. But it should be lasting longer than that. Anyway, live and learn, live and learn. So, here we are. G'day, afternoon. How you doing? Well, people seem to like it, I suppose. That's good. So I might, there's a little stopping place up here. I might call that quits with the stream. I'll look forward to seeing how the quality of it is at home. This is probably the first stream where I've just recorded it like this, conversationally. You know, so you're looking at me most of the time and the things that are going on over my shoulder and behind me and whatnot. So that's all. I can contrast that to the over-shoulder stuff. Let's see. So if you can see, there's a city cat. If you can see that behind us, docking over there, the Brisbane River. Lovely stuff. There's the city back there where we were. Yeah, I'm getting quite used to covering some ground. So let's have a little stop for a little second, and I will make a phone call. Oh, yes, old man. So there, here we are. So, g'day, I'm Captain Australia, also been called Simon. one or two other things, and I am on a crazy quest. What is this crazy quest, Captain Australia? I'm going to walk from Brisbane to Melbourne at the end of the year, 26th of December. It's called Captain Australia's Big Walk. Why are you going to do that, Captain Australia? Well, there's a bunch of reasons, but the biggest one is for a charity called the Kids Cancer Project. So this charity is focused on the science behind solving pediatric cancer. The mission is to solve pediatric cancer in our lifetimes. It is really about softening treatments, making treatments more successful, reducing the mortality rate for the 950 Aussie children diagnosed every year. We talk about the Aussie kids, they're our kids. But obviously it betters humanity, it betters science generally, it betters our understanding of cancer generally. So it's all about science, and I am superheroing up for science, and you can too. Now, if you want to do something for giggles, here's a parting request for you. You don't have to do it, but you might have fun. So get your phone, get a camera, make a superhero costume. Wear one that you already have, left over from Halloween, or whatever. In it, record a video. I support Captain Australia's Big Walk. I'm Laser Lad or whatever. Show your superpower. Chuck it up on your social platforms with a link. There's a sticky post on my Facebook thingo, points to the charity page. Link to that. If you do that, you're advertising for us. And you are superheroing up for science! So go on, give it a go. Let's turn this into the ice bucket on the head thing. Let's make an internet movement! That sounds a bit like a bowel movement, doesn't it? I know what's wrong with me. Anyway, thank you. If you've been watching this now or in the future, thank you so much for your interest. I'm feeling a lot better. It's been a tough week, but everything's getting back on track and falling back into place. So I leave in a bit over a month, and I hope you can come on this big walk with me. All the best.